Hey, everybody. I'm so glad that you've arrived. I'm Glenn Hausman, and this is No Vacancy News Today. Today's show is brought to you by SkyTouch Technology, the hospitality's innovative cloud-based PMS solution. Learn more about SkyTouch at skytouchtechnology.com. They're putting in lots of new features all the time to help your employees be more productive. And be sure to subscribe to our newsletter. Text the word hotel to 66866 and check out novacancynews.com. Today, we're talking to Bruce Ford of Lodging Econometrics, and we're going to give you some valuable strategies in order for suppliers to be more successful in these crazy changing times. Bruce Ford, great to see you. You know, you are absolutely right. When you're watching TV and you see this headline that says Hilton lays off X amount of employees, Marriott lays off X amount of employees, all the major hotel companies laying off all these employees. Well, it becomes obvious if you're sitting as a supplier that that's going to change the rules of the game to you, because the people you might have a great relationship may have vanished.
It's a crazy time, Glenn, to consider that finding new contacts is such a huge challenge for people, and finding who is the appropriate person to speak with on these projects and finding the path to make a transaction with your products has really gone through a pretty big change in the industry. And as we have looked at our sales staff, and as we have considered this could be the situation for multiple quarters going forward, you truly have to contemplate, how are we going to do this better? And in some cases, this says we need to work more with our CRM. In some cases, this means we need to have different type of salespeople because we have different needs today. And in some cases, it means we need better information to be more efficient, because the fact is we're not going to see a lot of people in person over the next several quarters. So
that's very true, Bruce. So you're talking about a wholesale change in strategy.
Completely. And in many cases, companies have begun to think that way as we were running up the front of the cycle, because it's really kind of two components coming together. It's, I do want to be responsible for what comes and responsive to what comes in. If it's a request for a proposal, request for a quote, people looking for more information, I want to be responsive to that. But I need to have an outgoing outreach program that is both active on calling projects that I want to be a part of, but also calling companies where I want to be in business with them. Some of the calling of companies is what we call an account strategy, and some of that can be leveraged by looking internally inside of your own company for what you have done and what you have performed on for them before, but also understanding what your market share is with some of these companies. And you can really leverage Lodging Econometrics information to help you understand more about that.
Well, that's right, really, Bruce. I mean,
things about our data.
Right. Contacts have never been more important than they are right now. And cutting to the chase to find the right person is really essential in today's day and age. So what happens then if you lost your contact and you've got to start seemingly anew at a company that you had a good relationship with just 6 months ago?
A great way to get to the conversation. Hey, we did 2 or 3 projects with you in the last 2 years. We've installed an X hotel at Y location. We'd love to be continuing to look at some of your new projects that you have, whether you're renovating existing hotels in your portfolio or you're going to look for new projects. There are ways to pick up where you left off.
Are there? Wait. How are you going to pick up where you left off? Because 6 months ago feels like 16 years ago.
Sure, it does. But you have the information to succeed inside of your own company. You just have to go analyze it. You have to go work it. You have to get the people that are participating in the sales process of your company to put the company's intelligence on the table. You have more time to spend in that strategic programming than ever before. It's a great workshop to add and integrate into your sales planning.
Right. Well, all of that makes a lot of sense to me, Bruce. But what about your approach? I mean, we've been through the most stressful period in all of our collective lives. You can't just pick up the phone and say, hey, things are amazing, let's do business. What is your approach when trying to rekindle relationships and get things set off in the right tone?
Well, I think you almost, when you're presenting to somebody that you haven't personally done business with them before, the critical thing is to lay a good platform of understanding about why you're calling. You guys have a lot of full service hotels. We have specifications with these 5 brands that you own a lot of. We've done these 5 brands these multiple times in these multiple locations after the last 12 months. We have the products that you're going to need as you go through your renovation process. We'd love to be a partner with you. That's an approach.
Right.
Create a new product, have a new innovative offering, new technology applied to your product. The key pain points inside of the hotel for what your product is today. You know what those pain points are. You know, if you're selling lamps, we know over the past 6 to 8 years, every lamp in a hotel now has a power port on it. That wasn't the case 10 years ago. You know, every phone in a hotel room is running more VoIP now than ever before because the bandwidth inside the hotels is better.
Right.
The hotel smart TV, we have guides on the hotel TV. You know, people want that. The safety of the remote. You know, whatever it is that your product that you're selling, okay, the innovation that you've come up with in the COVID times, the availability of manufacturing, your supply chain, knowing the positive impact that your supply chain has and how easy you can perform is all important things that can't be left unsaid, can't really be found very easily on a website because you're creating a custom discussion topic for a custom decision maker on the other end of the phone, which takes creative time to build.
That's right. And Bruce, what great advice is that? Very, very good stuff. So really, remember what Bruce Ford is telling us all today. The marketplace has changed. The same people that you've been doing with business for years may be gone. It's time for an entirely new approach, really trying to get to understand what their needs are and creating innovative products that represent the fundamental changes in the marketplace that are going to be happening on a go-forward basis. Bruce Ford, really interesting conversation. How can we find you?
LodgingEconometrics.com. We're available on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook as well. You can always email me at bruce@lodgingeconometrics.com or BFINNH on Twitter.
Excellent. Bruce Ford, thank you so much for being with us here today. All right. So I think that was a really good conversation that we had with Mr. Bruce Ford. Be sure to like this video, share this video, and do all of that great social media stuff that'll help us get recognized. Thanks for your support. We love you guys out there, and we'll see you next time on No Vacancy News Today. And remember, you've got one life, so blaze on.